Hi everybody, it's Terry with Crafty Book Nerd, here today to do the mid-year freakout tag. I'm only about a month late, but as they say, better late than never. I'm anxious today to share with you 13 books from the questions from the mid-year freakout tag. This is my second year to do this, and it's really fun because it kind of gives you a halfway mark for the year to check and see what you've read, what you've liked, what you still want to read, what you didn't like, and it's just a fun little challenge to do. But first, you know what time it is, time for our quote of the day. And today's quote comes from Mary Pope Osborne, and it says, "Reading is a passport to countless adventures." Yes, it is. So let's start with our questions. So the first question is, the best book you have read this year? Well, I had a hard time narrowing it down to just one book, so I'm going to talk about two. And I'm not going to go into detail about these books. I'm just going to answer the questions and give you a little bit of information. So the first one is Christian Hannah, The Women. This book was so good, and it's going to be in my top 10, I know, for this year because it's so far my favorite book I've read, one of my favorite books. It's very heart-wrenching, based on a real person, and it will just tear at your heartstrings and make you think about some things. So that's Christian Hannah, The Women. And the other one that I liked was The Frozen River, and I do own this book, except I lent it to my friend, by Ariel Lawhon, The Frozen River. And this one was another gut-wrenching story about a woman in a time period where women were not thought of as very highly, and their word was often not taken to be truth. And so it was really, really good. That's Frozen River. The best sequel you've read so far. I haven't read a lot of sequels because I usually save that for series September. But one that I did finish, I finished the whole trilogy, and that's Key of Valor. This is the third book in the Nora Roberts Key trilogy, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole series. It was just, it had some mystery to it, some puzzles to figure out. It was just a fun read, and I enjoyed that one as a sequel. A new release that I'm waiting on and I want to read, and that is James by Percival Everett. And I don't even really know what this one is about. I've just heard a lot of people that I watch on BookTube talking about it. It seems really popular. I do have it on hold at the library, so I'm anxious to check out that one. My most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. I have a couple. The first one is Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. This is supposed to be the final book in the Discovery of Witches series, and I have all of those books, and I will eventually buy this one. Right now I was able to get it at the library, but I absolutely love that series, one of my favorite series of all time, so I cannot wait to dig into this one in series September. This will probably be at the top of my list. The other one that I'm anxious to read, and I got it on my book of the month, it's a chunker, and that's All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I also have heard a lot about this one and how good it is, so I'm anxious to check this one out. My biggest disappointment. I love Frida McFadden. I have read a lot of her books, and I read the first two Housemaids books, and I was so excited for the third one, The Housemaid is Watching. But this one just fell short of the other two. It was almost like it was disconnected from the other two. And so I was very disappointed in this book. My biggest surprise is one I checked out from the library. Anytime I see a book with the word book, reading, library, I'm curious. And this one was a historical fiction. It did not disappoint. The Underground Library by Jennifer Ryan. Also based on true facts about a librarian who was determined that while the city was being bombed and they were in the shelters, people would have books to read to help keep their minds off of the terrible things that were going on with the war. And it was really, really good and gut-wrenching as well. And it was definitely a surprise for me. My favorite new author could be a debut author or a new-to-me author, and that would be Nadia Hashahim. I probably butchered that name. She has several books out. I've never read any of them. This was Sparks Like Stars. It gave me a little bit of Christian Hannah vibes, and it was really good. Really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading more by this author. The next question is your new favorite fictional crush, and I don't really have any fictional crushes, so I really don't have an answer for that one. And then my new favorite character is, let me find it, Martha Ballard from Frozen River. This woman stood for her convictions in the 18th century when women were lower class, almost lower than animals. And she stood for what she believed in. And she was a midwife, and she had very difficult situations that she was placed in. And she left a legacy for other midwives. And I just really enjoyed Martha. She inspired me. So that would be my favorite character that I've read so far. The next one is a book that made you cry, and I'm going to have to go back to The Women by Christian Hannah because it just tore at my heartstrings. It was just so good. I can't say enough good things about this book. Next was a book that made you happy, and this was kind of a surprise, and that's Tom Lake by Anna Patchett, one that I had seen going around, and it did make me happy because it was about a family during COVID, and the grown children had to come back home to help their parents on the farm, and the mother tells a story of her past life, and it made me happy because it shows how things in your past can change you and make you a better person, and how important it is for family to be together and to share those stories. And it just made me happy. Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. The most beautiful book that I've bought this year is by one of my favorite authors, Tracy Wolff, and that is Sweet Nightmare. This cover with this snake, when I don't like snakes, but this sword in it is just awesome. And then when you go to the back, look at this. And of course, it's about a school, an academy, and I love books like that, but you've got that continuing, and then it also goes over here on the side, and then look at that red. Oh my gosh, that red and black is just gorgeous, and I am excited to dig into this one. The scariest school on earth is about to experience real fear. I like anything like that, and I love Tracy Wolff, so I think that's the prettiest book I've got this year. And what books do I want to read by the end of the year? And I forgot to print one of them because I'm currently listening to it on audio, and that's The God of the Woods, and the author escapes me. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm probably about 50% through, so I'll let you know how that one is. I also want to read The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, who wrote The Fourth Wing, and I've heard good things about this, and I'm anxious to go back into her backlist books and read some more by her and see. And then the other one that I would like to read is One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. I have a love-hate relationship with Ruth Ware. There have been some of her books that I've absolutely loved, and then there have been others that have been a big disappointment. But I keep getting the new ones every time because you never know when you're going to hit on one that's going to be really good. And that's Ruth Ware's One Perfect Couple. So there you have it, my 2024 mid-year freakout tag. So much fun. If you've read any of these books, have any comments, would love to hear them. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. If you like anything about books or crafting or scrapbooking, junk journaling, then you've come to the right channel, and I would love to have you as a subscriber. Thanks so much, and have a great day.